Dear parents, teach your children healthy eating habits. We are hitting an obesity epidemic and it's scary. It's predicted that 1 in 3 new diagnoses in children will be a type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, which is a largely preventable disease and disease that's caused by obesity and lack of exercise. Folks, it's the food that our kids eat that causes this disease. My name is Tatiana, and I'm a life coach for women, but I'm also very passionate about healthy lifestyle and healthy living. And that's why I'm making this video today to help all of the parents teach your kids how to be healthy. But this process will be different for every one of you because it depends where you are in your health journey and the age of your kid. Because the way we talk about food with very little kids and older kids and teenagers differs. So I'm going to give you six different points about healthy eating today that you can start integrating. The first step is understand what foods are healthy and what foods are not healthy for you. And if you don't know, educate yourself. One quick, sort of an easy way to think about the foods in this category is if the food is natural, whole foods in its form that came from the soil, from nature, from an animal with very minimal processing, that's healthy food. On the other hand, if a food comes in a wrapper, in a package, has a barcode in it, and had a long list of ingredients, that food is most likely not healthy for you. And once, as a parent, you know that, it's a lot easier for you to explain it to your kids. Second, don't bring unhealthy foods into the house. It's very hard to resist unhealthy foods. And by unhealthy foods, I'm talking about chips, candy, cookies, donuts, because the way these foods are designed, they're designed to be highly palatable, meaning you crave them so that you spend more money on them, but they don't really give you any nutritional value. So if you don't bring unhealthy food into the house, if you don't buy the chips, if you don't buy the candy, you won't eat it. Third, teach your kids about what's healthy and what's not. Educate your own kids about what food is good for you and what is not. Most of the time, kids don't know, especially if they're little. Because you know why? Because they look at you as a parent and think, oh, mom loves me, mom gives me good food, or dad loves me, I'm sure dad gives me healthy food, right? They don't know. So it's in your power to teach them. In order to do that, I highly recommend that you have family meal time together. It's a great opportunity. It's one of those really good healthy habits to develop in life. And it's good for your kids to have that because this is opportunity not only just to bond and connect and build strong relationship with your own child throughout their life, it's a great opportunity to talk about things. And I'm going to give you a few examples and I'm going to give you a script that you can use, especially if your kids are little. For example, you are making healthy food for dinner, and maybe it's fish or chicken, some vegetables like broccoli, and rice or potatoes. And you want to talk to your kids about, oh, we're going to eat fish today because you know why? Because fish is going to make us smart. It's good for your brain. Oh, we're going to eat rice today or potatoes because it will give you energy so that you can run around at the playground, or you can go into your swim class, or you can do a lot of gymnastics. And then when you eat your broccoli, it will make sure that you can poop easily. My kids usually laugh at that, but you know what? That helps them, especially if they're little, right? That helps them. When your kids are a bit older, maybe in elementary school and early middle school, conversation becomes easier because you can talk directly about what vitamins and minerals are in these foods and how they can contribute to us being healthy, because at the end of the day, food gives us energy. Food helps us grow. Healthy food helps us be stronger. Another thing I use with my kids is uh, to make sure that they eat their protein like eggs and chicken and fish. I tell them, hey, it's gonna grow your muscle. You're gonna be strong when you eat that. And once they finish the food, they run to me with their bicep and tell mama, look, look, my bicep grew. So there are many ways to make it fun with your children. And of course, it's gonna be easier if you're just starting out. The younger your kids, you have the power and control when your kids are younger to teach them about these habits. The transition is going to be difficult if you have been eating unhealthy for a while and now starting that transition, because they would not want to start eating healthy food. There will be a pushback. I don't want that. I want my regular fried chicken, or I want my McDonald's, or mac and cheese or something. Similarly, you can talk about why you are limiting the unhealthy foods, the chips, the snacks, the crackers, the goldfish candy. You can say, Mama recently learned that this food is not very good for you. It's not good for your brain, and it's not good for your behavior. It may make you feel energetic, but then can give you a very low mood. And I want you to be healthy, so we're going to be eating less of that food. But as you go through this process, remember your why. Why are you doing this? You are doing this so that they can be healthy and they can avoid getting these diseases. Important point number 3: in order for you kids to start eating healthy, you need to model the behavior, which means if you yourself don't eat healthy, it will be a lot harder for your kids to eat other foods than you. So this could be a very great opportunity for you and your entire family to improve eating habits and live a healthier lifestyle. When you're eating healthy or building healthy eating habits, it doesn't mean that you will never eat those chips again, or you will never have anything sweet or dessert. It's not it's not like that. When you have a balanced, healthy lifestyle, it allows you to eat those things occasionally, but they should not be a default in your child's diet. For example, you can absolutely give your kids dessert after dinner. It all depends what type of dessert this is. The most important thing is you need to teach them that, hey, you need to eat your dinner first so your body gets all the strength that it needs, and then you can leave a little bit of room for dessert. And for dessert, there are so many options. You can give them some chocolate, you can give them some fruit and whipped cream, for example, or they have their favorite candy that you can give them occasionally. Remember, your goal is to build a balanced lifestyle where 80%, the majority of the food that they eat in, is healthy. It doesn't mean that you will never eat the cookie again, because that is a whole different level of extreme and unhealthy behaviors. A special consideration I want to mention for cereal. Cereal is sugar. Please don't give cereal to your kids for breakfast. If you look at the ingredients, it's sugar, and many times it's artificial dyes. And when you give cereal with milk, that's double sugar. And you know what sugar does? Sugar spikes their blood sugar, just like for any person. It spikes the sugar in their blood and makes them feel energetic for that brief period of time, and then they crash. And then we wonder why they feel sluggish at school, why they feel hungry in an hour, and why they don't have the steady energy levels. It's from the foods that they're eating. And I've spoken to many moms who say cereal is their lifesaver. My kids will not eat anything besides cereal. And my kids used to eat some cereal too, but it's a journey to transition. And now we don't eat cereal. That's why I want to share a few tips with you. Because taking away cereal starting Monday is going to be hard. So, what you can do, again, you always start with talking to your children about the food and its impact on our health. And you can say, Mama also learned that cereal turns out is not very healthy for you, honey. I know you like it, and what we need to do is figure out what food you can have for breakfast outside of cereal. And you say, well, you can have your cereal on Fridays, or you can have cereal Wednesday and Friday during that transitional period. Don't take it away right away. You slowly transition it off. And then you start saying, what would you like to eat for breakfast? Give them option A, give them option B, so that they can choose, they can be part of that decision. Again, this works for little kids, right, who are still dependent on you to make their food choices. And and if you're thinking, well, what are good food options for breakfast, you want a combination of some kind of protein and healthy carbohydrates and some fats that can give them, they can make them feel full, they can give them steady energy for the day. So what are the foods that I'm talking about? Cheese, eggs, bacon, if you guys eat meat, or whole grain toast, or even rice and eggs, toast and eggs. Oatmeal with nuts and berries is a good option. It's better option than cereal. I try to give egg for my kids for breakfast because I notice a huge difference. If they eat eggs and toast for breakfast, they have steady energy, they're not hungry in an hour, and they feel better overall. It's a method, it's a matter of experimenting, but I really encourage you to take the time here. And yes, kids will be protesting. They will not want this change, but you need to do slowly and bring them into the decision making. And once they start enjoying these different foods, you slowly transition cereal to Fridays, and then maybe twice, maybe a month, maybe it's a Saturday food, and then you can transition off it. And the scary cereal for me is the one, that cereal like Fruit Loops or cinnamon, something that the cereals that have artificial dyes or artificial coloring, because recent research has shown that those artificial coloring, I'm talking about red 40, yellow, blue, that are made from synthetic dyes, they have shown to affect kids' behavior. So, and you guys, cereal is like $8 a box in California at Safeways. That's expensive. That's a lot of money to pay for sugar that will not satisfy your children. Again, as you can tell, I feel very strongly about cereals. And last point is give them healthy snacks. Snacks also count, and they also matter, and they impact your children. I know it's very easy to buy chips in bulk, candy, fruit rolls, all sort of cookies and crackers, and easy to put them in your kid's lunchbox. Please understand that these foods don't have nutritional value. Your child might eat them, enjoy them, be satisfied, but they will be hungry in a while. And that can also, chips especially have high glycemic index. What does this mean? They raise their blood sugar, and for adults as well, really quickly, and then they have a crash. For that reason, you also don't want them. You want the food that will satisfy their bellies, that they will make them semi full and give them steady energy. Some options for healthy snacks for school can be cheese sticks, fruit, nuts and seeds, granola bars that are on the healthier side. Again, I know it's difficult to transition. So some granola bars, if they don't have sugar as first or second ingredients on them, you can choose them. Just don't give candy. Don't give chips. And now I want to share a few tips to help with this transition. This is not going to be easy. The transition is going to be harder, especially if you have not been eating healthy. So, bringing in healthy food can be a big disruption. Expect tears, expect crying, expect refusal to eat. But remember, your goal as a parent is to raise healthy kids. It's a lot easier to deal with their tears now than pay for the high cost of drugs to treat diabetes if that develops. It's easier to prevent the disease than to treat it. You're showing that you're a good, responsible parent when you take care of their eating habits. I know it's very easy to give up and give in, especially when kids start crying, but it's the process. And if you don't go through that process now, think about the implications when their children are older. The goal, as I see it, of a parent, is to raise healthy kids who know how to make healthy food choices so that when you are not around, let's say they're at a birthday party or someplace else, they know what's good for them and they know what healthy choices to make. It doesn't mean they're not going to have their cupcake. It just means they will not be having 3 or 4 of these cupcakes. And also, if you have girls, it's so important to teach them about healthy habits because girls are the ones that are most influenced about their body image and they have body issues. And all of that weight loss and dieting, you don't want that, especially if you're a mom who struggled through with that yourself and have had a life of weight gain and weight loss. This is especially important. When we teach our kids or girls about healthy eating, we're giving them the tools to cope when they're older and make the right decisions so that they don't have to go through maybe what you went through or what we went through. Raising healthy kids should be your priority. It should not be an afterthought. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments what are the challenging aspects for you with healthy eating and what you're struggling with.